can't believe we're already this deep. Week number 2 of the midweek muster. One and all, welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to A4 Action. We have got our semi-finals here. Puppypaw kicking us off in this best of 5. Single Elim with the Delhi Sultanate in the pink. And my insanity's Anathan, funnily enough, not on the Delhi this time. No, he will be taking to the Abbasids. And I say funnily enough because Anathan seems to always be targeting those Delhi. The draft was quite crazy though. Opening picks, we had Chinese selected by Anathan. Puppypaw picking the Delhi. Almost just mirroring what you'd expect the other to do. We also had Anathan getting things like the Mongols, whereas historically Puppypaw would be leaning to them. So yeah, it almost felt like they were just trying to take some flavor away from each other in this draft. And I think we're going to have a very exciting series here. So, opening map, of course, is going to be our high view, our improved high view, Pigeon's view if you want to find it on the game for yourself. This, generally, please, go make Reddit threads, go make forum threads, tell the devs you want this. This is a better version of high view. I will die on that hill. So much better. Central sacred sites, central trade posts, win conditions that are achievable, and trade that has to be earned. What more could you ask for? Has been a good map for Delhi, though, but I think that has been a byproduct of not only Delhi being OP in the second half of 2024, but also just the entire map pool feeling good that we've got for week number 2. Yeah, it was, I don't want to say an oversight. I think it was kind of a necessary judgment call. It kind of created an interesting dynamic where maybe people consider letting a Byzantine or HRE pick through. And I can confirm, actually, that up to date in this tournament, there has been 16 picks collectively between HRE and Byzantines, both of them sitting 100% win rate. So although sometimes they did maybe prioritize someone at the Delhi, quite often a player came to regret it. So we're going to get Eco Wing versus Dome of Faith, right? I still think Tower of Victory would be very intriguing for the Delhi, especially on a map where you've got quite center-bound sacred sites. Like, there's distance between them, but it's playable with infantry. Eco Wing just kind of a given here. And looking at the spawn for Anathan, pretty good one, right? He's got the backup gold behind. He's playing forward right now, but he's got the double berry gold. This is a sick spawn, especially if Delhi are going to go aggro, but it's not entirely safe. If you build your TC here, a Delhi player can sneak in on you from the Stealth Forest still. Other resources to the east are also plentiful here. So overall, a nice spawn. And also rotation-wise, a decent beginning. We've got 12 sheep to 14. So slight edge for Puppypaw. And it is going to be the Dome of Faith. Okay, so, you know, usually when we see Dome of Faith, there's a few things here. It gives you an early capture point on the sacred sites, which is really cool. But on top of that, it does give you a backup plan if the game has to go to castle. The interesting thing about that quicker cap point is you get away with it against the Abbasids because Abbasid players right now are going Camel Archers a lot. You can't go Camel Archers into Masgazi. It's a nightmare. You have to scale Horsemen first, which means your initial combat phase is a bit weird because, 1, you've gone for Eco. 2, your opponent has got superior production because they get their hands on that double production very quickly. So quickly it's already gone. And then 3 is the Ghazi are just superior to Horsemen to begin with, right? So you'll probably see Anathan take a defensive line here, just inherent when you go TC. And the goal for Puppypaw is going to be to lock in those sacred sites quickly. The question mark is whether he's going to try to wall them. We've had a few players that just haven't bothered walling them recently in similar matchups, like we've had Delhi versus Chinese as well. And they usually ended up regretting it. How do you guys vote in the end? I'm curious, I can't see. Let's have a look. 82% for Anathan. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Against a Red Bull Wololo finalist. I mean, the boy's on the rise. He's going to be able to rise up that quick, though. Does he play free TC here? That's like crazily greedy against Delhi. But I'm just seeing deer, and I'm seeing stone, and I'm seeing stars. Nah, I think you just play 2 TC. And scale gradually, right? Because you're going to need an army. Myriad with the 2 TT equal death, surely. May, have you not played enough Abbasids on the ladder recently? Is there any situation in which they're not going to go 2 TC? Ah, free. Got you. Yeah. I mean, it's tempting, but you're right. Like, free TC is obnoxiously too far. Like, if there's a civ in the game where you don't want to double TC, usually it's Delhi. There are very few civs that could get away with it. This is the one. But, hold on a second. Hold on. We're going to find out, Myriad. Is free TC death? Because I know isn't stopping. He's going for free TC, full condensed. I think this kind of makes sense in a weird way. He's got the TC on the tree line, and then he'll get another TC here, right? So you're just trying to create a static line of defense that gives you access to the food, the gold. and you shove the deer in, right? So once you've gathered this stone, you're done with it. You don't need to come back. Okay, this is kind of wacky. But once again, it comes back to the choice by Puppypaw. He didn't go for Tower of Victory, he went Dome of Faith. So Anathan's probably feeling like the pressure is less. Because if this had been Tower of Victory, right, you going Eco Wing can be a death sentence due to the lack of military wing. Logic being is usually when you have the boot camp, you at least mitigate some of the value your opponent's archers have, right? Because you can even them out a bit. So it's going to shuffle back now. Is there any other place he drops a TC? You could actually secure both sides of the tree line. I just don't think it's worth it here. Anno is just holding the stone right now, right? There's going to be a delay on this. He didn't go for a lumber camp, so you can't get into your extra eco. Also, because he's going for free TC, he hasn't bloated his initial structures. He doesn't have the Golden Age 15% gathering rate yet. In Spanish, ano means anus. Well, that's appropriate, because this strategy is ass. Now, I don't know. I haven't checked that one. We're going to find out if it is actually ass pretty quickly here. Like, it has to be a play here. So, likely, you're going to see the Ghazi shift around. I think Anathan is going to have to go into some protection first. Maybe spears. Oh, did we have... Are we disconnected? Testing. We're still rolling for now. Okay, we're back. Apologies, folks. Twitch decided to take a little bit of a hiccup. A little bit of a heart attack there. We are back live. So yeah, I think the Ghazi, like, they need to block this TC placement. You can't give it to him. So Twitch forcibly stopped my stream so it could give me a new sub goal. Nice. Cool thing about taking this house out, if you can get it, by the way, it stops the Golden Age. He's at 10 right now. So yeah, Anathan is compensating for that. We do have Horsemen coming. Dive's going to come in on the Ghazi. Able to get in there, but not able to extract too much value. Only one worker kill so far. He's going to force the Anathan. Too many workers here, though. Puppypaw punishing him. And this was a bait. I wondered if he was just waiting for an opportunity. It was either a bait or a forced hand. He solved the stone. So now he's going to play 2 TC to try and counteract this. But I mean, what was this a bait for? You wanted the Delhi player to attack you? He was always going to attack you. This is a classic when you get too big brain, you're actually just outplaying yourself. I'm a little bit confused as to what Anathan's goal was with this play. It might just be that he wanted the third TC and he messed up and then just tried to play out of it, right? Efficiently, just sell. It's just a weird sequence of events to kick off this best of 5. 2 sacred sites now locked in. I mean, to one-up that, never let them know your next move. If I don't know my next move, then you don't know my next move. So Horseman spam is underway for Anno. His eco is better right now. He's got farms coming in really... This is so obnoxious with this civ. We're pre-10 minutes, he's adding in farms like it's nothing. Because it feels like nothing. You pay 49 wood while also having 15% better gathering than any other civ really would at this stage of the game. It's wild how good this is. And remember, he did go for the broad axe, so it is 30% better gathering rate on trees. Doesn't have the horticulture yet. That'll come down the line. Yeah, Puppypaw needs to get the next component in. Anathan needs to read the timing here. He has got the archery range. Is this going to be Camel Archer 1 and then Mass Spear? That's kind of crazy. I love that. Yeah, like, I mean, you're playing defensive. Why are you building Horsemen, right? Horsemen only makes sense when you come out. But because your opponent is flooding, you can't actually just try to sneak out of Horsemen, cut reinforcements efficiently, or take sacred sites. So instead, he's going to try to bulk spears. Really cool. And the one Camel Archer is going to get the debuff, so the Ghazi can't even fight back relatively well. Not going to get siege in here. Puppypaw just going mass torches into 5 fire armor. A lot of damage reduction here. Only hitting for 8 instead of the 13. He's not going to be able to shuffle away. We do have the racks up, but it's only 1 rack so far. More Camel Archers getting queued. A little bit of an overburden of resources and not enough wood here. Anathan, the second tree line isn't easily attainable unless he walls this gap. Horsemen are going to start trying to defend this. But it's Horsemen in his spears. No textiles either, so you can't even kind of pseudo-use the villages to protect you. This takes so long. Now, keep in mind, this is almost like old-school herbal medicine. He's using the scholars to keep him sustained here for longer. But this may have been a dive too far. The TC fire from both has added up. First wave getting burnt down a bit. He's got some troops trying to block on the east side in case he sneaks out. Is re-rallying for the second group of spears, but that gap, that break, may give Anathan the room he needs to get into blacksmith decks and also start to get the spear production going. Puppypaw, is this the point where you just go 1-1-1? Archers can make a lot of sense right now. You just saw the racks. You should have seen the first spearman, I think. I mean, he has the scout here, so he would have seen it either way, right? Scout now dead, though. The bastards are so obnoxious. I mean, you could argue Delhi are also toxic with the ability to do this type of strategy, like all-inning you, right? But if this is Civ that's going to survive it, this is the one. He's got to mass scholars on the front line to be min-max efficient with this. 9 healer boys right now. But about to be brought to heal, because here's the problem. The camel archers are scaling up. A good counter to the spears. We talked about the possibility of just going archers. Camel archers solves for the spearmen. It gives the debuff steal. It gives the mobility. Gives you the chase. Spears have to dive in fast. Villagers are in a little bit of trouble. Starts to fall back again. The TT has once again been garrisoned, though. And there's just not enough torch power coming through here. But the cool thing about this from Puppypaw is this is body bagging your way to victory. Full World War II Russian strategies against the Belarusian here. He's throwing bodies on the bonfire to keep Anathan in his base so he can win by Sacred Site. But shivs are out now. Anathan, he has to use the villagers. Fine time for the camel archers to contest this, though, and it's practically just scholars left. A lot of them, but admittedly, they're not going to last long with this dive, especially against the villagers. Ghazi count down to just 2. A cute play by Puppypaw, but has he done enough here? A lot of food gathering, 1,000 food income right now, but his army looks pathetic. What? All right, Puppypaw, we've been having a lot of time machine moments on the channel recently. You clearly want to go back to 2021 because I'm getting full flashbacks to Delhi herbal medicine. This is not it, though. What is up, Lash? That is it. That's the move to make. Guten Tag to all our German friends. Thank you very much for the raid, mate. You just came in to a wild series, and we are only in game 1. Sacred Site timer still has 5 minutes to go. Anathan is almost 20 villages ahead. He's back to gathering. The military gap is really not that big. 11 of the 27 are scholars. And although a lot of them did indeed involve themselves in the battle there, had some impact, you just saw how weak it can be trying to focus heal underneath 2TC. Ghazi are remassing, but the camel archer is also looking more healthy. By the way, he did start building some spears, but he never actually got them out of Dark Age. That's now happening. One's if you think Anna's now going to win this. Two's if you think Puppypaw's got it on lock. It's a long time. 5 minutes is a really long time. And this is the tricky part. Like, against another Civ, you can just kind of get away with spears, Ghazi. The camel archers are obnoxious. I know he hasn't got much time, but he's scaling them at a decent pace, rather. More archery rangers should be on the way. He's about to hit 10 camel archers in total. If he reaches 15, there's a breakout. What could work for Puppypaw, though, is this. House of Learning snaked. He's got 13 scholars. On top of that, the other issue for Anno on a map like this is the stealth forests. If you run camels out into Masgazi, you're just dead. Spears as well. Puppypaw has a grand opportunity here to leverage this stealth forest against Anno alongside the tech up. It does require you somehow sniping these scouts, though. I'll say this about what Anathan is doing. It's ballsy. It's thinly veiled. It's a one punch. He will win with one move or lose with the way that he's layered this. If he can not get the decap on the Sacred Site, this game will be over. If he can, while still maintaining a decent army size, even though Delhi are in castle, it doesn't mean Abbasids are screwed because he's scaling camel archers. Camel archers are actually Abbasid's way of fighting from an age behind. Very high base damage, which is super effective against heavily armored units such as men-at-arms. March is on the way, and we have enough for TC. So he mined the stone, sold the stone, bought the stone, mined the stone. It's cyclical. Spears are there to defend against the potential raid attempt, and the decap's coming through. So Puppypaw, he got the level up. He's looking to go into elephants on a delay, but he's not going to have the Sacred Site timer. Camel Archer's now also moving in. Punishment for Puppypaw. Remember, he's only on 1 TC here. Did at least have the foresight to go for textiles, but the Camel Archers are going to keep on raiding. And remember, spears, men-at-arms, these are not the solutions. You need more Ghazi. Scholar's also going to start getting sniped. He's still got 3 relics on the way home. Sacred Site timer. What? No way. He didn't complete the decap. He needs to bring the army now. Anathan. He was a bit greedy about this. He's looking for the counter-offensive. He's moved out into the deer now, but the problem is he never completed the mission here. Camel Archer's moving back across. A few are going to move in with the scouts and the horsemen. So more eco to be sniped here. He is baiting him towards the economy. Can he get the decap? Anno! Oh my god, that's twice now. He was hiding in the stealth forest, not moving. He delayed getting on the Sacred Site here. As long as Puppypaw doesn't get tunnel visioned, there is going to be time to block the decap. He's going to keep pressuring this, but let's move out. Wait, is Anno? Anno's baiting him. The bait! He thought it was just one. He was dead wrong. Decap's going to come in. Anno is not dead yet. Cigar in the mouth and a tip of the hat there from Anathan. That was handled in slick fashion. Puppypaw knows there's more Camel Archers, just didn't know where they were. That was a smart move. Had he put all the Camel Archers on the site, Puppypaw would have brought the entire army back. Now Anathan has relieved the pressure, has loosened the noose around the neck here. 30 villager lead. Puppypaw has at least got relics to try and balance it out a little. Still gathering on pocket resources. Meanwhile, Anathan, who needs to really come out? We're up to 21 farms. Yeah, he's gathering the pocket resources, but he can afford to just burst it at home. Gold is the next target, but he could wall this north side. Looks like men-at-arms. Lancers are riding up. We'll see the economy. Camel Archers in the meantime, trying to counter raid, but the walls just about timed right here for Puppypaw. Should be a completion just before the Camel Archers were getting. Villagers now in trouble over here. Anno is going to be hemorrhaging. But reminder, folks, this is free TC. So although it hurts, it doesn't kill you. Don't want to say it makes you stronger, but you get used to losing villagers when you play Abbasids. It's almost like, oops, I lost a few. Difference between being a human and being a spider. One has many babies, one has a few. Well, unless you're a little bit too baby ego. Spear's now coming back. So they should be able to buffer him away. Anno has not tech still, guys. I think he's going raw mass pop before he goes tech. Is there a world in which Puppypaw goes age 4? No. Let's not dream of nightmares. Spears, loot and contest the men-at-arms. The Camel Archers are the key here, though. Spears are doing, like, no damage, right? They're 8 base, they never got Bloomery, and they're against 5 melee armor. The Camels gradually win out. This is the absurdity of this unit. Archers are on the way, and in fairness, Puppypaw has the correct read here. He needs archers in this game. It counters the spears, it counters the camels. Anathan does at least have extra farms coming in, so theoretically a horseman transition, but what's really to stop Puppypaw from just matching that with archer plus men-at-arms? There is a point at which Camel Archers cannot trade well anymore, and I think we've reached that point here. Few are still trying to raid. 30 eco lead again for Anno. But the veteran archers are now in. This is the power of Dome of Faith. The research speed. If you're playing Tower of Victory, you used to be clawing your way towards that veterancy. Sacred Site's now looking to be locked in again. We do have Pakes on the way, so potential to go crossbows, but no rush here. I think actually, has he researched everything? Yeah. It still catches me by surprise how good Domofave is for this. He's already researched everything from the House of Learning. Ironically, the man infamous for winning a game as Delhi 30 minutes in after forgetting to research everything is researching everything before 20 minutes. How does Anno win this now? Because remember, it's not just that he's got to get 1,800 resources, it's that he's then got to buy almost 2 minutes of time. Camelot just doesn't scale very well, folks, because the problem he has here is he's not at production speed yet. He's 18 structures away. These camels take an obnoxiously long time to reproduce. His issue is actually more in like production size, right? He's double queuing camel archers in a lot of these archer ranges. We've got desperation for wood as well. Puppypaw now moving in with an army that looks nigh on unbeatable. Now, the military deceptive, 20 of that is actually going to be in scholars, but still, even with that maths taken into consideration here, as long as he has the men-at-arms here, it should be a winnable fight. Horsemen do get a good start to this, though. They find the vet archers. MAA are starting to hold back the reinforcements, though. Spears are starting to get targeted down. The second wave of men-at-arms and lancers now starting to arrive, and I think we've reached the break point here. Puppypaw will not be denied. Camels need to be taught how to hump. It's not just pandas suffering from extinction here. He's down to just 6. Now you're mine. And that means the men-at-arms, the lancers are less and less counted as time goes on. Another raid coming in. Thank you very much, Jigglypuff. Appreciate the support, buddy. Will we see Jigglypuff on the next edition of KPMM? He has to sign up. That's step 1. Archers now diving in. Farms about to be idled out, and Anathan down to barely 10 military population. This is over. Damn, what a game. What a cool opening game. The bait and switch off of the free TC play, the delayed return to free TC, the clutch decap to extend the game, and then the potential raids that would have turned this around. But Puppypaw, in panic, crisis mode, is able to claw everything back quickly to recover this game and keep maintaining that control that Delhi are renowned for. And just as it began, it shall end, with the scholars underneath the TCs having a party. But this time, they invited the elephant. I've watched way too many Anathan Delhi games on the ladder recently. There is something cathartic about this. Oh, cool thing though is we have best of 5s now. I kind of wish we could actually format for more BO5s and BO3s in these weekly tournaments. There is something really cool about the robustness of best of 5s compared to 3s. I think 3s obviously have a lot more snowbally stompy potential. So although Anathan does begin this series with a loss, he isn't done yet. I can't believe he just began this with old school Delhi. I mean, we're 3 years into Age of Empires 4, right? There is something cyclical about the nature of balance. I think Puppypaw is going to end this with a keep drop. He never even caught up with the Sacred Sites. He's like, I mean, I could go for a Sacred Site victory, or I could just actually send a message. The message is... your camels. Have you met my elephant? Well, I think the Lancers are now starting to realize where the farms are at. In fact, oh my god, they're already in there. These villagers just became fertilizer. Did you guys know that Puppypaw in Canadian is spanking? So, if Anathan is or Anno rather is anus in Spanish, that means the ass just got spanked. There we go. We figured it out. Keep drop coming in. It's going to force the last stand. Anathan, there's just not enough room to get around. Even if he could, the village is just too tanky. And GG gets called. Crazy game to kick off our first semifinals of the second week. Tell me that this weekly is not delivering piece after piece after piece.